Hi, I'm Brad Skiles. I'm here in Warsaw, Indiana. You should know that by now. And with me is my friend Terry and my friend Alpha. We're going to be talking to Alpha about what he's been doing the last few weeks and where he's going the next few weeks. And we may get into some other things. We'll do some screen sharing and just try to bring everybody current with particularly what Alpha's involved in. I'm sure we're going to be talking about lots of other people in this process. So, a big deal we've been praying for, we prayed before we began here, is Alpha's mother has a very serious liver condition. There's other health issues, but Monday, tomorrow, I guess I should say this is Sunday, the 9th of August. Tomorrow she will have a liver scan, and that may lead to surgery where they remove a potential part of her liver. We've been praying that that would not happen. It'd just be really easy if God provide healing and intervention, and we would see that in some way tomorrow. So it may come in the form of not having to do surgery. That would be awesome. But we also understand it doesn't always work that way. God has other plans. So, Alpha, anything more I could say, or is that pretty much a wrap up of what we need to know about your mom?
Yeah, currently that's the wrap up of um the health condition. So she's on 5 days medication, and tomorrow will be the fifth day, and after that we need to go for a scan to see if she still need to be on the medication or there will be the need to do the surgery. So we are hoping for a better scan results tomorrow.
Okay. So, this might be obvious, but it may not be. I would not have thought about this a few years ago. When this is all happening in Ghana, there's
Correct.
not insurance, okay? There's not government aid in any way. People are expecting to be paid. Alpha's been able to save some money from the money that we've given him. That's been helpful to get to this point. But you can understand, I'm talking to the people who might watch this, you can understand that part of the prayer is there's really not money for surgery. And
Yes.
so this is a pretty stressful thing, and I just have to say it happens all the time. That's what we need to understand. We might be living here in America, and maybe we have insurance that deals with a lot of this kind of stuff, but in the third world, that's not what happens. So,
Correct.
this was kind of new to me, Alpha. You could step in here if you have some other insight, but I would say within the last 2 years, I realized part of the life expectancy for third world people is that they don't have access to healthcare. So when there are things that could be done in America that might extend the life, it just doesn't happen to most people in the third world. So then we see shorter life expectancies. That's just the way it kind of develops. And it's hard for us sometimes to grasp that things that are easily dealt with in America become crises and cannot be handled in this case, Ghana or some other places. So that makes it especially difficult. Anything you could say just in general as a third world person that would help us understand what I just said better, or did I summarize it well?
Okay. In addition to what you just mentioned, um, in Ghana, for instance, we have health insurance, and that health insurance only covers minor expenses, such as the bed that the patient is going to be on for the duration of a stay at the hospital, and that's only what it covers. But when it comes to, major issues, you need to pay it yourself.
Yeah. Okay, and of course, what you're dealing with is just repeated in Nigeria, Cameroon, um, Pakistan, Thailand, all these places where India, they're all similar. So, unfortunately, that's the way life is. I'll say this. Our new friend Clive Joseph says that Pakistan is 250 years behind us. NASA has always said 150 years. I'm not trying to determine who's right there, but obviously there was a time in America where the same stuff happened. It was just a long time ago. And so then we take things pretty much for granted, assuming that's the way it works, and it doesn't. All right, so I should be sharing my screen, I believe. Except I don't know where. Let's move some things around here. There we go. You guys see my screen?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, very good. So let's get, whoops, that's not what I wanted. Let's get into Alpha's activities. So this last weekend, you were at the women's home in Ghana. How come I can't move this down? Uh, Come on. There we go. Okay, let's just, whoops, shoot. Come on. Let's try to click on something. Okay, here we go. So that's Anna Droll,
Yeah, that's another.
and that's her Bible. See
Yeah.
if I can make this smaller. All right, come on, having problems. This again. Now, words somewhere. Okay. Okay, so this looks like a meeting. I know you went for a graduation. Um, who's this person?
Okay, so this is Mavis. She's another student. She
Okay.
flew with her to Ghana.
Oh, okay. So she came from America.
Yes, she
Oh,
she came from America.
very good. And is this another student that came with her?
Yeah, this is another student.
Okay, very good. And then,
So this one, she's a student of Neil Simorais, the lady who came with Anna Draw last year.
oh yes, right.
Yes, yep. So these are some of the dignitaries who were there from the traditional council.
Okay.
Yeah, so there were
So
some
this is a
pastors.
graduation.
Yeah, that was the
This,
graduation day.
okay. I'm just trying to okay, that might be a little bit better. Here we go. And how do I advance it then? Okay. Uh, More kind of dignitaries. And so this would be women
Yes, this
graduating, little
and
girls.
this girl here, the little girl. Can you go back?
Yeah. Go back. Whoops. Shoot. Okay. What's the
So
story here?
this little girl here, she was named after Anna. She's also called Anna.
Oh, nice.
So her mom was brought to the ladies' home while she was pregnant. She was treated, taken good care of till she delivered safely. And then after delivery, they decided to name her Anna to Anna Anadrol.
That's nice.
Yeah.
How many women graduated?
Three. These are the ladies who graduated.
And did they no longer live there?
No, they no longer live there. Their parents came for them after the graduation and they left. So,
So
okay, go ahead.
there were other women there, right?
Yes,
Who are
yes,
in the home.
yes, there are other women there.
All right. So people who are watching this more than likely are on our prayer page, know something about what you do. But I assume you did some interviews. Do you feel like you had a
So,
productive time there?
yes, I was able to interview these three ladies, and last year too I interviewed some of the predecessors who left. So I have those videos in my archives.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Yes.
So help Terry and I know what is kind of like the production of what you're anticipating. You're leaving for Cameroon in 2 weeks, the 23rd. You'll be in the
Yes.
Cameroon, Lord willing, the 23rd, come back on the 29th. That's a Sunday, and then Saturday, the 29th.
Yes.
Do you anticipate having anything done before that, or is this a bigger project?
Okay, so I don't know how big his project is in Cameroon, but I'm actually drafting some stuffs down to ahead of my trip to Cameroon. Yes, and I also need more communication with Victor to know what's actually on the ground to be able to, prepare myself well and then document the kind of relevant questions I'm gonna ask and the recordings I'm gonna do over there.
Okay. Okay, so we'll move on, but I got a question about the ladies' home.
Okay.
Last year, maybe it was in July, so right around this time, you
Yeah.
went to the ladies' home, and that was before we really engaged you in an official way where you kind of like have a contract right now. Um, it was life changing for you. It was very dramatic. So now you go back a second time. Tell us what kind of impact it personally had on you. And maybe there's so many other things you've experienced that it's not quite as dramatic. But how do you compare this trip to last year?
Okay. I would say this trip was better because last year was my first time holding a camera. Trying to create a story, and then I've learned a lot from there, and the people at the home, Anadro and Baba Ayamga, they've accepted me, and Anna was actually helpful, and she said, "Alpha, you've been very helpful to us."
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, she said, "Alpha, you've been very helpful to us, and we really appreciate that." So my next trip, that was last week when I visited the ladies' home. I already knew what I'm going to do. So things were very easy and I was comfortable at the home. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yes.
All right. So now let's talk about Cameroon. We're going to also say we're going to go till the top of the hour here, so we're not going to cover everything we need to cover. Um, I'm going to go ahead and jump in and get to some pictures related to the Cameroon. So let me find those. Here we go. Project scene. So let me just kind of scroll up here for a second. This is stuff that you're going to see several kinds of things here. This is where we'll start. Okay, so I posted this picture on our prayer page. There's more pictures I have similar to this. And we have really, really bad fires in Seattle area, Washington, state of Washington. One of our prayer partners lives in that area. Their house is not affected right now. Um, we have this kind of flooding. We have just as bad as stuff, in the U.S. So, and I'm sure you have this kind of thing in Ghana, right? It happens in
Yes,
Pakistan,
as that was
all
last
over.
month we had. Um,
Yeah. So what can you tell us as a third world person how this might be different than these very bad events that happen in the US?
okay, so um, they are so. there are so many causes that leads to, let me say, flooding in various countries. So in my country, Ghana, it was should I say lack of discipline because people were building on Ramsar sites where buildings were not supposed to be built, and also the gutters were choked where people weren't, I mean, cleaning their gutters, and there were people who were building infrastructures where they weren't supposed to build. So those mistakes and indiscipline led to the Great Flood of Ghana. So now the government has taken an initiative that every week, every weekend, that's Saturday, there is no work. It should be a cleaning day for the country. And then every infrastructure or building that was built on a Ramsar site or on a place where it's not supposed to be is being, I mean, brought down.
Oh, wow.
So different other third world countries may have different reason for their flood. So when Ghana was flooding, Ivory Coast also experienced the same issue, and with that of Ivory Coast, it was sanitation problem that led to their flood.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're not trying to say that this particular flood is because they built in the wrong place. We don't really know what's happening here. I'm going to show you though what he also sent me. So do you recognize what this is, Alpha?
This is this is a toilet, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So part of what the mayor is concerned about is that obviously with this kind of sewage situation, now you have sewage in the water, you have disease that's going to be very, very serious that's occurring. So, um, we could look at the same kind of stuff happening in America, and it's severe. And interestingly, not all, but some of the fires that happen in the West is because of poor management. So, maybe we have a similar situation on the East Coast. We actually have.
You're fading in and out.
I'm fading in and out. Okay. Um, Whoop, we lost Terry. Terry was fading in and out. Okay, so on the East Coast, we have homes that are actually built on stilts on the beach. And then they have a hurricane and it wipes everybody out and they go back and build it again. So we do some stupid things in America that set up this kind of stuff. My point with what I've done before, is that there's generally no assistance um, that helps people, So if you're poor and you don't have the ability to either save money or we'll just say have insurance even, there's obviously issues then that make it life very, very difficult. Then you have situations like this where now the disease, is dramatic. So we're really kind of overwhelmed in that how do we as individuals really deal with this? And the task is really, really big. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about this just to bring people up to speed. Terry, hopefully, will get back in. He's not there yet. Okay, so let me see if I can put this away. This is a picture that Jonathan gave us of these girls looking at a model of a baby. Okay, and this is what they're talking about. So you might remember from the movie
Yeah.
that he used these models and he left them with this woman he knows in Kenya who uses them in her speaking. And I brought this up to say, oh, it would be about on Amazon, $200 to buy that box. And this is Victor speaking on TV in Uganda, And so they only have one of these boxes, and now we have four computers with the movie on it. And I don't know exactly, when you're there, you're coming at a time where this will all probably be discussed. So there's a strategy of how do we take the movie into villages, and what potentially we might be talking about is if there was a box like this of models that went with the movie, this is really dramatic for people. And I guess, okay, so now help us understand this. If you're in the third world and you're in a village in Cameroon, it's probably not unlike what happens in Ghana. If people saw these models and they're holding these models, I would assume it would be very dramatic because most people don't have exposure to what is really happening in the womb. Am I right about that?
Yes, you're right.
Yeah. All right. Let me keep an eye on Terry here, see if he comes back to us. Let me find that. Come on. All right. Maybe I can put this somewhere else. Nope, I can't. Man, I don't know what's happening with my pointers today. All right. So of course, in the Cameroon, what we're talking about is you're going to be traveling with him. I think the location where the farm is maybe 8 hours from where he
Village.
generally lives, and then his family lives somewhere else. So
Okay.
we will talk to him in our thread. We don't want it to be quite as extensive as just simply traveling all the time. I know he wants you to have 2 days where you could actually see the Cameroon and he could show you kind of some of the beauty and what's there. But at the same time, we want you to be able to do your work and not just be in the car the whole time. So anyway, that will all work out. Okay, we don't have Terry. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to bring in for people to see what you've been working on. So this is your T3 Productions. Anybody could go to that address, t3productions.org. It's not really done yet.
I
So the
think
original, oh, go ahead.
Terry has sent a message in the thread.
Terry has sent a message. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back to, we'll figure out what's happening. Somehow I,
Lost you,
okay.
right?
All right. Okay, so we'll see if that works. See if it comes back. I'm gonna move this over here where I can watch it. So, okay, so you tell me when do you think you're gonna have this done?
So I give so when before my departure to the ladies' home, I gave the link to my friend that I was
Mm.
working on the website with. I gave him the link and I asked him to rectify those changes for me because I was dealing with my mom at the
Yeah.
same time working at the ladies' home. So I asked him to do the changes for me, and I've not. I wasn't able to check if he has done it or not.
Okay. Okay,
So
so
I asked him to remove these pictures. There was supposed to be a Nigeria.
yeah.
Those changes haven't been done.
Okay, so people are probably seeing this for the first time. Well, I think Terry, have you ever seen this, Terry?
I haven't.
Yeah. Okay. So, just an idea for you. And again, what part of what we're learning is you're tied in to your friend who needs to help you do some things. Will there be a time when you will be able to do this yourself? Like,
Yes, after our conversation, I will do it myself. I will do it right away.
oh, okay. Well, I would
Yes.
just suggest if there's anything hanging out here like this stuff where you don't have it done, then it would be nice just to delete it.
Yes,
Um,
I will delete them. Okay, so
yeah.
the Nigerian picture is there, right?
No, no, no. Is it? Oh,
We have
well,
one.
there's one. Yeah.
Uh,
So, obviously these are great pictures. You did not take these pictures. They're great
no,
pictures. So you figure out, what you want to do with other people's pictures. They are pictures that were taken from our Pakistan ministry, which is awesome. And then you took that picture. So you have Indian pictures, you have Nigerian
Nigerian
pictures.
picture.
Um, okay, so my main point is, this was built for you to put your music into, your articles. I don't know, were you thinking this could just simply link to YouTube? You have so much on YouTube. Does it have to be separated from that? Did I lose you?
I'm
I did.
here.
Oh, there we go. All right.
Okay, so with the soundtrack, I don't need to be on YouTube. But okay, so I think I have all the three songs there. But with the video, that one will direct you to YouTube. So that's the last
Oh,
three
wait a
songs.
minute. Oh, okay. So you have these are your songs?
Yes.
Yes. Awesome.
Is it playing?
Yes. Yes. So, not the video that we see on YouTube. Um,
Um,
so all you have to do is get rid of these three files right here, right?
yep,
These
yep,
empty
yep.
ones, and you have three songs here. I'm going to go ahead and go to YouTube. I bet most people don't know what's happening on YouTube for you. Um, we'll see my channels, what I generally am interested in, which most people are not. Here's my favorite one on top, Alpha. So if we go to playlist is really a good way of seeing his work. The difference with what we just saw is same song, I think, whatever the song was. But anyway, he does have a picture related to this. And then the words will be on here too. So anyway, that's awesome. And this is all organized for all the things that you've done. So that playlist thing gives people a really good, we just talked about Kairos. So this is your previous work with Kairos. If someone clicked on that, they would see a couple things. Well, they would see the video and then the song you made. Okay, well, anyway. So T3 Productions, that's coming along really, really well. Then we have this. Terry, I don't suppose you've seen this.
No.
Okay. So this is just once again in a developmental phase. The nice thing is from what we know, you're going to get into Cameroon because of the contacts that Victor has. But it would be awesome since you've built these websites for that purpose. It would be great to have the deadline here in the 2 weeks that some portion of this is done to where it looks like we're finished, right?
Yeah.
Then if there would be some crisis, the worst thing, okay, here's my perspective. The worst thing that would happen is you get to the border and you could have used this, but it wasn't done, right? That would be terrible. Then that would say, wow, God gave us the idea to do this. He knew we needed it. we needed the validation that you actually have something going on, and we didn't get it done, and then we end up having another bad experience. We cannot do that. We have to
Yeah.
do 100%, 110% of whatever God's given us and be as best prepared as we can. Now, it's quite possible you arrive, nobody cares about this stuff, you are ushered in, everything's good, and then that becomes the next trip might possibly be Costa Rica, let's say at the end of December. And then in that situation, this stuff becomes really, really important. But I think we finish it for whatever we can do so that it looks like it's finished. And this is where part of the problem is. So if I go, this is about, let's go to home. This is cool. See if I can get rid of this. So this is the home page. And are you able to update this?
Australia, right?
Oh yeah, we need that.
Yes.
Right.
I've developed the map, and let me
Okay.
put it in the thread. But so I need to change this one to
It's pretty current, but I'm just wondering as we go forward, you're able to add things or change things. So Ben doesn't know this. Ben's not seen this. Today I'll email him a request. It'd be awesome if he would give you a 1 to 2 minute blurb that could be inserted here related to the global impact team. So this is what they would see. Then we have the team. And this is where I was saying at this stage, it would be better just to have a list of people. And we're not going to get all their pictures and stuff in the next 2 weeks. That's not going to happen. We have an about, so there's some content here. This page looks like it's pretty, yeah, like this would be an example. I think maybe you could just drop this and make your life easier and not have that there. And then you go to the team and you simply have a list of people, much like what you've seen. Each name could have 1 or 2 sentences and you have all that content. Countries, um, I suppose you could just do something here. I don't know what you want to do. But anyway, there's some things here. Just make it really easy, get it done, make it look like it's been active in some way, be a part of the work. Be a little bit careful with this. It's not like we really want to recruit people or more ministries. We really are maxed out. That's not what we're trying to do with this website. So the purpose of this website really, oh, and this page, tools, we've talked about this before. So this is probably going away. We don't need this one. Seems like I had something as an idea to replace it, but you know all about that. Where this would be really helpful is under the blog. So this could be if it's able to be posted by some of the ministry people, particularly, let's say India. They may not want to do this. Wilson may not want to do this. In his country, it's not easy being a Christian. Um, but if he wanted to post something in here, if they had the ability to do that, then we're starting to create something where if people are not a part of Facebook, they can come here and see what's happening in some way. That's the whole goal of the blog.
okay.
So we have people that are praying for us that are not choosing to be a part of Facebook. Nothing wrong with not wanting to be a part of Facebook, but they don't have a way of really knowing what's happening. And that's where this could be. But if you have to drive the whole thing, then that becomes really burdensome. If other people had a way of inserting things, that would be awesome.
Okay.
All right. Our time's about up. Anything else, Alpha, you want us to know about what you're involved in?
So I'm making I'm working on a 60 seconds video on Anna's on my trip to
Yes,
a lady's home. So I'll post that, I think probably tomorrow
that's
or
awesome.
yeah, tomorrow. No, tomorrow I'll be busy with my mom.
Yeah.
So definitely Tuesday. I'll do that in the night. So Tuesday it will be ready.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say for people who are watching this, you can go to T3 Productions and just see what you saw. You cannot get really to that global impact team yet. It's not really a link that
Yeah.
people can find. But this would be a really good way. And if you get here, you would search his name. I don't know if they search global impact team, would they come up with this?
This one is just a picture. This one is just a picture.
Yeah,
So
okay. So they
just my
really
name.
have to search your name.
Yes.
And then if someone, is not totally familiar with everything you're doing, the way you've organized this with your playlist would really help them to see all the things that you've been involved in, which in essence show all the things that we're involved in.
Yeah.
So this right now, this would be one of the best archives of understanding what you've been doing. All
Yes.
right, my friend, we're going to stay connected, but we're going to wrap this up. Um, okay, so Terry, how about if you pray for the Cameroon trip, and then we will go offline here and have more
Okay.
discussions.
Father, we just come to you this morning, Lord, with laying the details of the travel, Lord, to Cameroon. We thank you for Mayor Victor and the work that he's doing there with the purchase of the land and the mentoring of the young men. And so, Father, we just pray that you give wisdom, Lord, to Alpha as he travels. Lord, help him to discern the necessary information that he needs to have with him in preparation for entry. Thank you for the divine connections that you've already been making behind the scenes, Lord, to allow this to take place. And so, God, we just trust that you will encourage not only this prayer group and this initiative, Lord, but the folks that we have direct contact with, Lord, in each of these places. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to send Alpha into these places, Lord. You provided all of the travel arrangements, the finances, um, the entries, the highlights, Lord, that he is diligently creating. And so, Father, I just pray that you continue to give him creativity, Lord, that would show and demonstrate, Lord, the effectiveness of his T3 productions in Jesus' name.
Right.
Amen. Thank you, Terry. I'm realizing I didn't really say what happens in Cameroon, so let's wrap up with that. Um, Victor is an elected mayor, so I think a lot of people know what I'm about to say, but just to put it into a recording here, he's an elected mayor, and there's a section he calls municipality. I don't know if it means the same thing as it does in America, but he's not over an entire city, but he's over a pretty big region, kind of. And there is a 10-year civil war that has driven refugees. He doesn't use that word, he calls them displaced people. And most of them are children into his region. And so, about 8 hours away is a farm he's developing, and he wants to take 10 or 12 of these kids and have them grow up on this farm and learn, some level of responsibility and skills by farming, but also disciple them into following Jesus and being future leaders. So, what you're going to see, Alpha, is where he lives, and we're going to still coordinate all of this, so I don't really know exactly what's happening. But there's another location where his family lives, and that's for safety reasons. And then there will be a location where he takes you to this farming area. And I can tell you from the pictures I've seen, this is extremely fertile soil. So it's where a lot of farming goes on, and he has 7 acres. Not all of it is cleared. So you'll kind of see that, and beyond that will be just helping us to understand kind of what he's dealing with as a mayor. So these kinds of events, I think this flood may not be in his own area, but it's where some of his family, not his immediate family, but some of his family members are in that area. But he has just his hands full with all kinds of crises that happen as a city mayor in a country where there's a civil war. So people should be praying for your trip and safety, but it's a little bit like, well, I'm sure you have the same thing in Ghana. I'll relate it to here. I'm living in Indiana, and if someone said to me, "Oh, are you affected by the fires in Washington?" I would say, well, I mean, I care about it, but that's like 2,000 miles away. I don't think that's going to affect Indiana. So it's a little bit like that. Smaller country. Africa as a continent is much bigger than America, but you're going into an area that is not the war zone. So we're not trying to send you somewhere where your life is in danger, but we just have to say that, you know, anything can happen. We need to pray for safety. Um, where the war is just a whole different part of Ghana, but its impact, I'm sorry, of Cameroon, but it's impacted by people who are coming into his area fleeing the war zone. So you'll probably get some of that. And beyond that, I don't know what to tell you, other than you speak French, right? You speak
Yeah,
fluent French.
yes, I speak
That's
French.
that's the second language. So he's encouraged by the fact that you're going to be able to speak to people, um, and that's a really good thing. I
Comment
assume there's some,
t'appelles-tu?
yeah.
Comment
All
t'appelles-tu?
right,
Je m'appelle Thierry.
there you go.
Ah, je m'appelle Alpha.
All right, so we're going to sign off on this and stay connected, guys. I'll do that first, and then I'll do this.